Earlier this year, two women got into a traffic dispute in Barstow, California. Importantly, in this case, one was white and one was black. You're going to see a couple of videos here, and I want you to stick through it. And bear in mind, in the back of your mind as you're watching them, that this is all body cam footage from the point of view of a police officer. And imagine if you had heard this story, the information that would have been available had the footage itself not been available, if there was not a body cam. So you're going to see an unidentified white woman. You're going to see Charlena Michelle Cooks, who is the black woman in this footage. And in these first two, you're going to hear their differing accounts of exactly what happened in the traffic dispute.
This lady up there, she's standing up there. She just comes like hauling ass around me and almost hits me while I'm in the turn. So I honk. She stops, rolls down her window. She's like, "Who the hell you think you're honking at?" And I said, I'm turning. My blinker's on. You can't drive like that in the parking lot. And she just starts yelling at me. Hurries up in front of me, parks right here, all crazy. So then I park. She gets out of her car, and I wasn't even get out. This isn't her car. She moved it real quick. And
okay.
Then, she gets out of her car, comes over here, punches my window, throws something, whatever that brown thing is, she throws it. She's screaming at me.
Okay.
Miss Anderson is out here. You can ask her.
Okay. Is your window damaged? Anything damaged at all?
No. She scared the hell out of me, and I'm like, I'm calling the police. She's all, call the police. She's just screaming at me.
Okay. I don't see right now. I don't see a crime that has been committed. If there was damages, I would give you the opportunity to place her under citizen's arrest if you wanted to. I don't see any crime. I'm going to document her name, probably a story. I'm pretty sure she's going to give you a story where, you know, it was your fault and then this and that. But we'll just document that and see where her car is and we'll go from there, okay? Is that fair enough? Fair enough? Okay. All right.
So that is the dispute from the first point of view. In this next video, you're going to see the account of Charlena Michelle Cooks, who has a very different view of exactly what happened.
How you doing, ma'am?
Yeah, I was just dropping my daughter off. I was in this lane where the police cars are. She was honking and honking, so I was like, roll my window and see what she wants. She was like, you cannot park right, you cannot drive right here. This is a one-lane thing. She was like, this is a one-lane thing. I'm going to hit your car. Just go. Just go. I said, who are you talking to like that? So I parked, walked my daughter up in here, and was like, you have a problem? Because you talking to me like I'm your child or something. You know, you can say something like it's a one-lane thing, but I never known it to be a one-lane thing because I always see two lanes, two cars driving through.
Right.
Right. So then she just acting all scared and stuff because she just, I don't know.
Well, she said you threw some on her car.
No, ain't nobody throw nothing at her car. I had my daughter right there. My daughter was scared.
Okay.
My second grader was scared.
Okay. All right.
Exactly. She just called the police for whatever reason. I don't know.
Well, you know, some people just feel like sometimes they're,
okay, well, I
you know,
just feel threatened by her because she's white.
Was that?
And she's white and she's making threats to me. I felt threatened by her. I even went in there and let them know because I know she works.
Okay.
So there, you hear the story from 2 points of view there, and at this point, the cop has already said on the film that he doesn't believe that any crime has been committed. You don't see him asking the first woman for her name, but he is going to ask Charlena Michelle Cook for her name. And bear in mind, she is not legally required in California to provide it, but he asks, and then this happens.
What is your name, ma'am?
I'm not giving you my name for what?
Yeah, I actually do have the right to ask you for your name in this case, okay? Okay. Well, how long is it going to be for you to make sure? Okay.
Let me make sure because I'm not about to get harassed by the police.
Well, you know what, ma'am? I have every right to ask you for your name, okay?
I'm not about to get Michelle.
Ma'am, no. Michelle what? What is your name?
Let me get the person.
Ma'am, I'm going to give you, ma'am, I'm going to give you 2 minutes.
Hello?
Okay, Miss?
They talking about they have to get my name and all that. I don't know because she over here crying and stuff.
Just give me your name, please. Give me your name, please.
I just told you my name is Michelle.
No, it's not good enough.
Okay, well, I don't feel comfortable right here.
Let's go 15.
No, don't, Andre, they about to touch me.
Watch yourself, please.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Ma'am, please.
Do not touch me. Do not, I'm pregnant. Do not touch me.
Okay.
Do not touch me. What the fuck is going on? Do not touch me. Do not touch me. Do not touch me. Do not touch me, sir. Do not touch me. Do not touch me. Do not touch me. I'm pregnant. Stop it. This is ridiculous. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Ma'am,
please. I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant. Please.
So why are you resisting, then? Why are you resisting, please? I just lost my cuffs. Do you have your cuffs? Okay, get up, ma'am.
I can't. I'm pregnant.
Okay.
Feel my stomach.
Watch yourself.
My stomach, stop.
So why are you resisting?
Because you guys are stupid.
Yeah, so again, she is actually pregnant. She was 8 months pregnant at that point. This happened in January. She has since delivered the child. We don't know if there was any damage done to it, but you can hear in her voice that she's absolutely horrified that something is going to happen to her unborn child because she's being arguably thrown down or placed down roughly. And again, she was not legally required to provide her name. Every cop seems to think that they can't be filmed and you have to provide the name and the ID. In most places in the country, none of that is true.
Why do they think that? Why do they keep thinking that?
I think because they've been allowed to do what they want for a very long time.
And they've been allowed to do that.
I mean, these cops aren't even in much trouble
As
yet.
always, this is the disobedience.
You will obey my authority.
You obey my authority. First of all, he said, it was about 15 seconds after he said, I'm going to give you 2 minutes.
She could give you 2 minutes.
And then within 15 seconds, he's got his hands on her. And that's when things...
Yeah, she was on the phone.
She was on the
She
phone.
wasn't wielding a katana.
Right.
She was on an imminent threat. He
She's
had no
not-
reason to arrest her.
And she's not going anywhere. He already said there wasn't a crime that was committed. Yet you are black, and I'm a little pissed off that you're not doing exactly what I said. So I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to brutalize you right now in public in front of a school. I don't give a fuck because I'm a cop, and that's why I became a cop, because I'm not a big thinker, and I like brutality.
What I can imagine goes through, I don't know what goes through his mind, but like they've got to think this through differently. Like if you don't think, like I
There's
got
no
it. In
thinking
hindsight,
going on, Ben.
in hindsight, if she'd given her last name, we probably don't have this situation. But you have to recognize as a police officer, what's going to happen if she doesn't? What's going to happen when I touch her? Like is she just at that point? After saying, I'm not going to give my name, that as soon as I touch her, she'll go, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were serious.
Yeah.
Right? So, of course she isn't. So her reaction was not, given all that we'd seen up till that point, was not in any way surprising. So what if you have to take another 14 minutes to solve it?
Right.
Like, where do you have to go? You're a policeman, you're on the job, this is the job, is that you have a tense situation of which, in this situation, in this circumstance, there is no risk. You're okay.
There's no risk and no crime.
There's almost no situation. By the way, there's nothing to de-escalate. Nothing's happened. They come in, they escalate.
That's right.
They
escalate.
They
You
start.
could just say,
they bring
ma'am,
violence.
all right, I'm going to give you 2 minutes on the phone, but I'm going to need your name, or can I see? Let me just see your ID. Here's the situation. You could have said, I don't think a crime was committed here. I'm taking her name, I'm taking your name, and that's going to be the end of it. A lot of ways that I'm sure, that I'm sure are deeply, deeply annoying to the cop, because this is not, when you signed up to be a cop, how you imagine you are going to spend your day with two women outside of a school and or a Walmart complaining about each other's driving. Right, about road rage. Whereas what you really want to do in road rage, give everybody 25 minutes. When they're no longer feeling road rage and both of them just go, you know, I'm just going to go home. I'm going to let this go and I'm going to go home.
I'm hungry.
So what did you think was going to happen when you touched her? And I think that they've got to think that through, but there's defiance.
The city,
and then their weird desire to be like, we don't have time for this. No, you do. This is literally what you have time for.
Yes, that's exactly the point. And by the way, the city defended those cops. The city is is continuing, and that's the kind of city you want to run, where the cops cuff people, where they already on camera admitted there isn't a crime. She doesn't have to give her name. So they're illegally, and then you're defending that. They're illegally doing that. So again, this is the culture of America. We're in a police state. Police get to do whatever they want, even though it's illegal. We all know that she does not have to give her name. The cop already said it wasn't a crime, yet they fucking brutalize her anyway, and the city defends them, and everybody's okay with it because they're cops, and she's black.
She's lying on her stomach, and what's the parts that's getting everybody? She's screaming, lying on her stomach.
Yeah. What do you do in that situation if you're there? If you're a person and you see these cops,
thought about that right away.
You see these cops
she actually
brutalizing.
is quoted as saying, like, they're the ones who are supposed to be helping me, but who is supposed to help me when they are attacking me?
I imagine that I would have been like, I feel like I would have, you know, I mean, first of all, I want to go up to her and I want to say, like, take a deep breath. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And I'm saying to the cops, could you just give her a moment.
They would crack you in the head
and
so fast.
Right, they'd hit me with, like, don't approach this.
They wouldn't want you to come close.
They wouldn't want me to come close.
No, they would get away, and if you don't get away, they're going to crack your head too. So what do you do in that situation? You just have to walk away and let an agent of the state brutalize a pregnant woman.
You take out your phone, you record it, but it was already recorded.
So you just what if they started punching her?
Right. Then
so you just let it go?
I don't know. What would you
do? At what point do you step in?
What point do you step in?
I would open my trunk and get a tire iron, and then call my dad. I don't know what I would do.
To him when
so
he
that's
gets
the thing. So that's the thing. I don't know what I would do in that situation. So if you go over and you confront the cops, which you would do in any other situation if they weren't cops.
That's right.
Yeah. If any other situation, if there were two grown men pouncing on a woman who is pregnant and she's screaming and she's not a threat to anybody, you would go over there and you would start by punching those guys. That's how you would start. You would start by punching them. Get off this woman. What is your fucking problem? That's how you would start. But since they're cops, you can't do that. But maybe I would do that, and I'll take the jury trial. Maybe I would do that. I don't know. What if they were doing it to a dog? I wouldn't let somebody beat a dog. I wouldn't let that happen. I would stop the cops. But because they're cops, we're all supposed to shut down our humanity and walk away because they're doing the right thing. Those cops are brutal maniacs. That's what, did you see how they had her? There's a woman dropping off her second grade kid. There was no crime committed, yet we're going to brutalize this woman because she didn't do exactly as I said, even though my request is illegal.
Yeah. And again,
it goes back to the mindset of the people who join the police. People who join the police like brutality. That's why they're cops. They dig this shit. Normal people don't do that.
In a different state, she wouldn't have that one legal, she has many legal grounds to stand on, but she wouldn't have the one that we've focused on, which is that you don't have to show your ID. Most places, she does have to show your ID. So by not doing it in most places, that technically would have been enough for the officers to arrest.
Technically, it's not enough.
I would argue that cops should not be looking for ways to arrest people.
Why?
That's a common one that they use. But as I said in the very beginning, like in this case, we have the body cam footage. We have a first-person view of exactly what happened. And imagine what the cops would have said if there was not that footage.
Yes.
They would have said, we approached her, she went crazy, and we had to pacify her.
And
they
hit
say
me.
that constantly.
She'll say she took a swing at me. They'll say she took a swing at me or she was violent.
We would have no way to contradict that.
Right.
And look, body cams are not a perfect solution. We know that from the Garner in New York City. And there are a bunch of other problems that they can potentially cause. But in cases like this, having at least some indication of what actually happened is 100% vital. The cops may not actually face any consequences because this is still America in 2015 and we don't do stuff to cops.
We don't do anything to
But
cops.
at least we have the opportunity because of the body